Okay, welcome back. We just finished doing the Simpsons arcade game, just the first level on the old Xbox 360 arcade version by Backbone Entertainment. And now we're going to do the Konami X-Men arcade game. And I talked about this already with the Simpsons video. It's just this strange, stupid, complicated thing where I downloaded it onto my Xbox 360 external hard drive. I saved it, when they briefly had The Simpsons and X-Men available in, I believe, 2013 or 2014. And I played them to death, and that 360 console eventually died. Kept the data on the memory, the hard drive, but when I put that hard drive on another Xbox 360 console, it only thinks I have the demo. It won't let me play the full version. The good news, if I do want to play these games, I can... the old Xbox 360 that died has been repaired, so I can slap the 360. I can slap the hard drive on it and play them. But that 360 does not have an HDMI port. It's an older console, an older version. So the bottom line is I can't record myself playing the full version yet. I promise you, just like with The Simpsons, I will find a way. We're also going to find a way to do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game by Konami on this channel. We're going to do The Simpsons, X-Men, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because those three games, in my opinion, three of the absolute best beat-em-ups, three of the best executed licenses. And of course, Konami did such a great job with the X-Men arcade game. Unfortunately, we didn't get this on home console. We all would have loved to have played this game on Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis. We got some decent games. We got the X-Men game on Sega Genesis was okay. I had it. Clone Wars was a lot better, but very hard and long. Some people really like Mutant Apocalypse on Super Nintendo. Me, not so much. So there were some other good games, but this one is interesting because, as many of you will note, this is Pride of the X-Men, and I'll post the link in the comments section to the one and only episode of this version of X-Men. They were blown out of the water, unfortunately, by the Saturday morning cartoon with Rogue and Jean Grey, but I liked this incarnation better, and maybe it's just me being a contrarian, but Pride of the X-Men, I would have liked if that pilot had gotten picked up, and obviously it's corny and silly. NightCrawler sounds weird. Colossus is goofy. No one really knows who Dazzler is. And Wolverine, of course, everyone picks on him having an Australian accent despite the fact that he's Canadian. But for all its flaws, I really like this version of X-Men. And wish that we'd gotten a little bit more. But anyway, we're going to talk a little bit more about this. Right now, we're just going to play through the one level it's going to let us. Yeah, and I'll show you, by the way. I have, just like with The Simpsons, if you go to my achievements, it should be unlocked because... Here, where's my X-Men achievements? There. I have almost all the achievements. I have played through the game many, many times, but for whatever reason, it thinks that I only have the demo just because I'm playing it on a different console. So whatever, anyway. We're going to pick my favorite, NightCrawler, who I also think is the best. He has the best speed and the best jump attack, which makes him the best character to play as.
In the 21st century, evil mutants led by Magneto aimed to destroy the world. Humans could do nothing against the power of the evil mutant. The only hope is X-Men. Go and save the city.
Now, one thing I have to say about the X-Men arcade game is, just like with The Simpsons, the dev team at Konami did not have access to very much. There was only the one episode, and yet they did a lot. Like characters like Wendigo and Nimrod, who are bosses in the game. I always wondered if they were maybe concept art from the team that worked on, the Pride of the X-Men pilot. If maybe there was plans to have Wendigo and Nimrod
will turn you to toast.
Absolutely dominated. So, love this game. Would like to play the full version. Maybe I should have challenged myself by playing as Colossus, but decided to play as Nightcrawler just to show off because I think he's the best character to use. Yeah, just a flawlessly executed IP, a license. Considering they only had that one 20-minute cartoon to work with, the Pride of the X-Men. And as a kid, it always used to, I did have a friend who had the Pride of the X-Men tape. We watched it, many times and thoroughly enjoyed it. I think and I understand that the Saturday morning cartoon ended up becoming the one with Gambit and everyone else, that Jubilee, that everyone really liked. But I really did not like that cartoon. I didn't like it because the intro made it seem like it was going to like Magneto was going to be the main villain, and that the show was basically going to be, you know, Professor X and his X-Men against Magneto and his Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. And it was not like that at all. There was only a couple episodes where Magneto was the villain. The rest of the time, they would just introduce a new villain, whether it was Mojo or Mr. Sinister or um, whoever else, Juggernaut. It's disappointing. One complaint I do have about this game, though, is they left out the most interesting villain from the Pride of the X-Men cartoon. Where's Toad? It would have been really funny Toad would have made a really good mini boss. He didn't have to be a full-fledged boss, but he was such a amusing character in the cartoon. It would have been funny to have him in this game, but for whatever reason, they left Toad out, and instead we got Nimrod and Wendigo, who weren't in the cartoon. So I always thought that maybe the dev team had access to concept art or concept art for episodes that eventually that didn't get picked up or whatever. But yeah, at least with Pride of the X-Men, we knew from the start that Magneto is the villain, and to me that's what X-Men is best. That's when it's at its best. Is when it's Professor X's X-Men against Magneto and his Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. All the other stuff I can. The Dark Phoenix saga. Ugh. I think there was like 8 episodes that were all the part of the Dark Phoenix saga, and I just got so bored with it by episode 2. So, yeah, I promise you we will get around to playing the full version of this game. I love this game. We'll do this. We'll do The Simpsons. We'll do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I will find a way to get those and do those because they are just a blast to play through. And in my opinion, 3 of the greatest arcade games of their era. You can kind of put arcade games into 3 or 4 eras. There's the classic golden age, the quarter score chasers like Pac-Man, Galaga, Space Invaders, Defender, all those games. Nothing to say about them. They're fun, classic. Everyone knows what they are. But then after those sort of waned in popularity, we got the beat 'em ups, or I guess you could call them the quarter munchers. And of all the quarter munchers, I think X-Men, Simpsons, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stand head and shoulders above all the rest. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, Alien versus Predator, Knights of the Round, King of Dragons, um, Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja, Double Dragon. No, give me X-Men, Ninja Turtles, and The Simpsons all day long. And then after that, there was the tournament fighter genre. Primal Rage, Killer Instinct, all the Mortal Kombats and Street Fighters. They had their heyday. And then now we're in the dark ages of arcade games where it's just racing video games. And they're all the same and they're all incredibly boring. And arcade games just suck now. I haven't seen a good modern day arcade game in a long, long time. Some of the light gun rail shooters are fine, but man, do I miss the beat 'em ups, or heck, even the tournament fighters were a little bit better than more fun and more exciting than just boring racing video games. But anyway, that's X-Men. I promise you the day will come where we get to do all these. So stick around, and I'll get back to doing a few more games on this channel in the near future. Stay tuned.